right, kidlets, here we go. So what we're gonna make right now is called a drawing file. So we made our cube. We have all kinds of different parts. They come together and they form this perfect little 3x3x3 larger cube, and it's a puzzle. So now, what if somebody saw this and they really liked it and they said, oh, I want to create those exact pieces, or maybe they just liked a couple of your pieces and they wanted to make those parts. We're going to create a drawing file, and what the drawing file does is it gives them information on how the parts are made. So let's start with our little purple guy right here. So if I go down to the purple part and I open up its studio or part file, it's going to look like that guy right there. And what I can do on this part is I can just right click and I can go to create drawing of part 1. Now when I do that, it's going to give me two options. One, I can just open a drawing file that's totally blank and I can set it up on my own. And we will do that later with the other software. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to use this template that already exists. It's called 4 views. And those are kind of the standard 4-view drawing that you should use so that people looking at your drawing files know how to make your stuff. So as that's loading, which sometimes can take a little bit, what we're going to do is you're going to start with what we consider the front view. And that's all going to be based on which plane did you start designing on when you selected either the front, the top, or the right side plane of the part. Okay, this right here is always the front view. In order to make the top view, we take this view and we project it up. Okay, now it made it for us, but if we were doing it ourselves, we would use this tool right here called projected view. We would start with this front view and project it up the top view. And then we would project over the right side view and we would project up this isometric view. And the isometric view is nice because it turns it at that angle where we're seeing that front face, the top face, and the right side face equally. And it allows us to really see what that part is. Now to make it even more user-friendly, we're going to right-click on that isometric view and we're going to say Share Shaded View. And that's going to bring in the color you gave it. And you'll see that the sides have different darknesses. It's called tonal shading, and it makes it pop so you can really see it 3D. Now that's probably where they're going to look first. But we also need to give dimensions to the person that might be looking at this drawing file because they're going to need to know how to create your part. So we're going to come up here to dimension. And the nice thing about creating a drawing file, since it already knows the part, we just have to click on an edge. And when I pull it out, it already knows the dimension. So that was 2 cubes tall. And so it's 1.5. And this is 1.5. And we know this guy right here was just 1 cube. So it's 0.75. And this guy was 1 cube. So it's 0.75. Okay, so we already know exactly how to make that front face right there, which is this front face right here. There's only a single other dimension we need, and it would be the depth. Okay, how far back does this part go? So we can see that. Here's the top view, which is this front view, this top view up here. This right here would be the depth. That is the measurement along this line right here. Or this is the right side view, which is right here. That line would also be this line, so we could put it here or the one up here. Now we don't need both of them. That'd be redundant to give the same dimension more than once, unnecessary. So you can decide which one you like better. I'm going to turn off dimension. I'm going to say, you know, this is a little crowded in here. So let's go ahead and just remove that one. And we'll just leave the depth dimension right there. So for this part, the purple part, there are 5 dimensions that were necessary to make that part. Another thing I didn't point out is this is a size A sheet. There's size A, B, C, D, and then it gets into all, there's E also, it's huge. But there's a lot of different sizes of sheets. For now, we're going to use a size A, and that's a standard sheet. That's 8.5 by 11, like a normal piece of paper that you're used to. But later on, you might find yourself printing on a large plotter or something, and you'd be designing for a different size sheet. Okay, so what you're going to do is for each of your parts, and each of you probably have 4 to 6 parts, you're going to create a drawing file. And you saw how quickly I was able to throw that together. It shouldn't take you too long to do this. You'll want to go ahead and change the name. So you'll see down here on the bottom, it says part 1, it says drawing. You can't really see what's behind there. But you can change that to be purple part drawing file or something. So you're going to make a drawing file for each of your parts. All right, good luck.